Hello, Orlando, people. Secrets is the theme, and there are secrets that we keep that are told to us. Like, I'm going to tell you this thing, and you're not going to tell anyone else. And how much we like them determines how willing we are to agree to that. But there are a lot of other secrets. There's secrets you keep from yourself, and there's also those blind secrets that only happen with a best friend, right? Where they say a thing, and just because you know them so well, you kind of know you're supposed to go with it. You're with your best friend, and you're at your parents' house, and they're like, so school's going great. And they're like, yeah, school's going great. We just finished a project that you had not even started. And you're like, yeah, we did. We totally finished that project. And you just kind of know that it's a secret thrust upon you. Sometimes that's the best case scenario. But sometimes you have a best friend, and when you're growing, not everything they do you agree with. And because they're your best friend, the real key point to that is you accept them for their faults, right? You accept what it's like to grow up. I grew up awkward and poor in a place in Florida where there was a lot of middle-class money going around. And my childhood was spent in a poor town in Washington State where everyone was poor. So being thrust here where there was a bunch of money flowing around, I didn't know how to cooperate with the social cues. I didn't go to the mall. I had never been to a mall before I moved here. So I didn't really get the cream of the crop of friends. So when I moved here, my only friend was the son of migrant workers, and he was 6 foot tall, and we called him Mexican Mike. And that was his name. And we both struggled with being outcasts. When we hit high school though, he was 6 foot tall. That was cool. That was cool to girls. I didn't really get cool to girls until way later. But for him, getting attention at all was exciting. And he got attention from girls. 2 different girls, in fact. And so what he did was he dated both of them, which does not sound like a great thing, but that's what happened. In today's media world, everyone wants to be really popular and have a lot of attention. There's ways to get it. And so when I watched him finally get the attention that he had never got, that we had jealously watched everyone else get, I didn't know how to exactly process how to be ethical while protect our friendship. He dated one girl, and then he would break up with her over a weekend, and then he would date the other one. And then he would break up with her, and then he would date the other one. He never really dated both at the same time, and I'll give him that. And then every single time we had a fun night out, a party to go to, he would get into a fight with whichever one he was dating. And then he would look at me and say, I'm single tonight. And I said, you know what? I'm just here to drive, so let's just go have a good time. And I didn't really know how to process that. On MySpace, I was his number one. And it was only because that way he wouldn't have to choose which girl to put. And they would just kind of deal with it. One day, I was driving down an old Narcoossee road, and I saw a brand new Publix that had opened, but it was late. All the street lights, all the parking lot lights were lit, and there was a car underneath one. And I recognized it as one of the girls that he was dating, the one that I liked. So I pulled in. I was like, why is this girl here? I knocked on the window, and I was like, Christina, what are you doing? Because I was the obnoxious one. And I saw her, and as she opened her door, like a fairy tale, tissues fell out of her car, and I saw her sobbing. With tissues everywhere, a box in her back seat that was empty, and one next to her stick shift. She cried, and I said, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's going on? Why are you so upset? And through muffled tears, she said, Mike canceled his plans with me again. And I said, don't worry about it, don't worry about it. You know how he is. He's going to come around. You're the cool one. No one likes Angie. Everyone likes you. And she said, you don't understand. He was supposed to see me today. And I said, I'm sure he's busy. He's like, no, you don't understand. We made plans weeks ago. And I said, I really don't know where he is. I don't know what to tell you. And she just started crying harder. And the conversation got harder and harder to get through. Finally, I got out. I got out of the car and I walked around and I took her out of the car and I just walked her to mine. And I said, why don't we go to McDonald's? Let's get a coffee. Let's get an ice cream. And on that little drive, I asked her, what's so great about, what were you guys going to do? She's like, I got tickets to Medieval Times. We were going to go have a great night. It's my birthday. I said, oh my God, it's your birthday. This is before Facebook. You didn't know someone's birthday unless they told you, So I said, I'm so sorry, it's your birthday. Let's go get you some food. And we did. And she didn't ask me about Mike, and I really appreciated that she did that because I didn't really want to have to lie. I knew that I would have to be put into a situation that was uncomfortable enough, but I just wanted to be I wanted to be good cop for a little while. I wanted to get the attention from a girl, even if it was one that I wasn't supposed to get attention from. On our ride home, I had her laughing, and I had her talking again. And when I brought her back to the Publix parking lot, I remember I got out of the car and I opened her door because she was a princess in medieval times and I was her carriage. And I opened her door and I said, "Don't worry about Mike." And she's like, "I'm not." I was like, "I don't even know where he is. Where was the last thing you heard from him?" She said, "Chris, he said he was with you." Thank you. My name's Chris Lorna. Thank you.